WFM 91.7.
Good afternoon and welcome to Women Radio WFM 91.7, Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families. Thank you very much for tuning in today. My name is Sumto Titilayo Ajama. Today is the first day of the 16 Days of Activism on Violence Against Women. First day of the 16 days on activism on violence against women. And for the next 16 days, we will be discussing activism on violence against women, and we'll be discussing, we'll have 16 organizations with us. So we're running this 16-day series on activism on violence against women. So you're welcome to the program. The 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence is an annual international campaign that kicks off on the 25th of November, that's today, the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, and runs until 10th of December, Human Rights Day. It aims to end violence against women and girls in all forms. During the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, we will review the achievements of some organizations and strategies in the prevention and elimination of violence against women and girls. Once again, you're welcome. My name is Sumto Titilayo Ajama. My first guest today is Temitope Olawumi, Digital Community Engagement Specialist, Rest for Her Project. Hello, Temitope. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Can you hear me? Okay, let's take that again. Good afternoon, Temitope. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, Sumto. Can you hear me?
Yes, much better now. Thank you very much.
All right. Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm
Good
well.
To be here.
I'm well. I'm glad to have you here. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. As we proceed, you can contribute on the program. You can join the conversation, ask questions, just be a part of it. The number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. You can send in a text message or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. All right. Temitope, tell us about your journey so far, or the journey so far in combating violence against women, particularly for Rest for Her.
All right. Thank you so much, Sumto. So, the Rest for Her project is a virtual space for women and girls, and it means that it's a place where you can come to maintain anonymity and still, have women and girls get the help that they need. And well, so far so good. The journey has been. It's been awesome. It's been quite satisfying, to know that we provide services that help, prevent sexual and gender-based violence, and that women have been able to perhaps use some of the information that they got on our virtual safe space to navigate a violence-prone situation. We've also been to schools, and at schools we've been able to address over 5,000, students, female students, and it's satisfying to know that somehow we've been able to impact the lives of these girls, and they now know what sexual and gender-based violence is, because that's the first place to start.
Exactly.
Some people don't even know when someone is violating them or someone is, pushing the boundaries. So these girls now know, they now know what sexual and gender-based violence entail. They now know what to do, to prevent, and they now know what to do if they've experienced sexual and gender-based violence. So we've also been to communities, we've done outreaches, to women in different communities, and we've educated them about SGBV, so they know that they don't have to stay in a violent situation thinking that there is nothing they can do. So it's been quite satisfying to know women are aware that they can get help. It's been satisfying to know that women, can prevent. So if you've never experienced it, it's been so gratifying to know that you don't have to experience it, because if you ever find yourself in that situation, you know what to do. Our organization has been focused first off on prevention. Then after prevention, we're also doing something about treatment. So we don't want it to happen first off. And if it does happen, we want you to know what you can do, to recover. Yeah, so it's been quite gratifying. And to ensure that our services get to women at different levels, we have different platforms. So we have a website where women can access resources, self-defense courses, resources, and information to prevent sexual and gender-based violence. If you don't want a website, we have a mobile app that you can download, and the resources that you need, or even chat with our first responders. If you do not want that, we have a toll-free number that you can call, and it's totally free for you to access the care or support that you need. And you can do this 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So it's been quite rewarding it's been satisfying rather to know, we're making an impact. We're helping women prevent sexual and gender-based violence from happening to them. And for those that it has happened to, we are offering the support that they need and on their way to healing and recovering.
That sounds very good. And I'm glad that your organization is championing this particular cause, because women definitely need this. So looking at the rate of awareness and reports of daily cases, because it feels like, Temi Tokmaya, we're not hearing less cases. It feels like every day we're hearing more and more and more cases of gender-based violence in some form. So would you say that people are beginning to end the culture of silence by actually speaking out?
Okay, so, I would say yes. People are beginning to end the culture of silence. But beyond people ending the culture of violence, I would say people, the cases of sexual and gender-based violence, cases of, they're being more reported than it used to be way back. Thankfully, people now know that, you can just choose to speak up on social media, on your Facebook page, anywhere. You don't even need to wait for an advocate. You don't need to wait for a platform to speak up. You can just do. You can call out anyone. You can just report it. So I feel people now know that they can report these cases, and so the cases are more reported than they used to be, and that's the reason why we're much more aware.
That's right.
Cases.
That's right.
Secondly, I feel that people are feeling more strengthened. So this is what happens when a survivor speaks up about what they've experienced, the case of sexual and gender-based violence that they've experienced. What it does is that it empowers others. So the more some women are coming out to speak up about what they've been through, it empowers other women, to also do the same. And the best part is we now have thought leaders speaking up as well. And thought leaders are like they're the best influencers that we have right now, because just because you see someone as your hero, or an heroine, you feel like if this person can come out with their level of influence and affluence, they can come out to talk about what they've experienced and their healing. It means that people are interested in my story as well. So people so we're drawing strength. I think women are drawing strength from each other, and social media is helping us to achieve this. Programs like this are helping us to achieve this. So because we're having survivors speak up, more women, are having the strength to speak up as well. So the culture of silence is reducing. We're having more women speak up, and then these cases are being more reported than they used to be.
And we're glad about that, most definitely. Because
it's progress.
It most definitely is progress. So still talking about...
But I must place them to, we're not there yet. I believe
there's a lot more work that needs to be done. And that's why organizations like yours are putting in so much effort into more advocacy. And thank you again for all that you do. So what more, given everything that you've talked about, the toll-free line, the information, the advocacy to communities, advocacy to schools, first responders, the website, the app, there's a lot that your organization is doing. But as we have just concluded, Tim Tokpa, because you and I just said this thing together, as we've just concluded that there's a lot more work that needs to be done, what is Rest for Her hoping to do more of as an organization to support more women who are finding themselves in this position, to also encourage more prevention efforts, and to just generally continue the activism against gender-based violence?
All right. So, first off, we want to go to places where, we can reach more women. So the data says 1 out of every 3 ladies, has experienced one form of sexual and gender-based violence in their lifetime. That's a lot of women.
That's a lot of women.
Now, of this figure that I just gave, some have healed, some are healing, some are still there. They're still caught up in the past. They're still caught up in the web of their experiences.
Exactly.
We want to reach these women and want to help them. So we're looking to go to more places, where we can find women and girls. Initially on this project, our outreaches and campaigns have been to more of secondary schools, but now we want to extend it to tertiary institutions. There are a lot of ladies, that are stuck in toxic relationships, and they just feel like they have to stay there. They are not aware that, some people even interpret love wrongly. They feel beating and violence is a way someone can express love to them. We want them to know that someone is violating you, someone is abusing you. This is abuse. This is not love. So we want to go to more places where we can reach women, religious, organizations, religious settings, tertiary institutions. We want to take the information to these places as well. And this 16 days of activism against sexual and gender-based violence is just the right platform for us. So we have 16 action for 16 days, and this involves going to different tertiary institutions, different places where we can find women and girls, just to educate them about SGBV and the services that they can, access, to the healing they need, or if they've never experienced it, to be able to prevent it, from happening to them. So what we're doing majorly is to just go to places where we have women. We know that men are also prone to violence. I mean, violence can happen to anyone, but because this project is...
Hello, Temitope, are you there?
Having achieved a lot in reaching out to women, we just might, reach out to men as well.
All right. That's a welcome initiative, I believe, because as you've rightly said, men are also affected. Yes, we know that women are more affected, but this doesn't mean that we can't also render support to the men as well. Thank you very much, Temitope. It's 19 minutes past 12 on Women Radio 91.7, and today is the first episode in this series of 16 days of activism on women, on violence against women. I'll take that again. 16 days of activism on violence against women. Today is the first in the series. We're running this for 16 days, inclusive of weekends. And we're starting today with my guest, Temitope Olawumi, Digital Community Engagement Specialist, Rest for Her project. And we're talking about strides made so far and strides for the future as well, because gender-based violence is a conversation that cannot be stopped, particularly with the realities that we're facing today. So we're having this conversation based on that. What are your thoughts? Do you have any contributions? Feel free to call in or send a text or WhatsApp message. The number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. Also send in a text or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. Now, Temitope, you'd agree with me when I say that your organization is one of the tons of organizations around Nigeria and also around the world that are advocating against gender-based violence. So are there stakeholders that you also hope to engage that can also work with you by using their own area of expertise, whatever that is, and their areas of influence to pass this message and continue this advocacy?
Okay, so currently, the Rest for Her project is not running solo. Like, we definitely partner with some stakeholders. So sometimes, a particular survival calls and, we do not provide the service that, they need. Perhaps what the person needs is medical attention. So there's this medical attention, but perhaps what a person needs, is rehabilitation. Now, we do not provide that, so we would refer them, to an organization that that provides that. So we have been partnering with stakeholders, but of course, we want to partner with more stakeholders so that we can deliver on our promises. And And some of the stakeholders will be thought leaders. I mentioned earlier that I feel like more people are beginning to speak up, because when they hear stakeholders, it just So I feel like we need to partner someone with influencers, because they have the community. And some of these influencers, when they tell people to take action, these people take action, particularly on the part of prevention. I know that every time I think of the case of Bamishe, of blessed memory, I wonder if perhaps if Bamishe had resources that we have on our website, self-defense, and all of those those information that helps to navigate a violence-prone situation. If she had access to those information, maybe we'll still have Bamishe with us today. So I'm thinking we have a lot of women in these communities that these influencers lead, and if they can help to let these women know that you can just prevent it from happening to susceptible or can fall victim of sexual and gender-based violence. Violence comes in different ways, abuse come in different ways. So we definitely want to partner with more influencers so that they can reach out to the women in their communities and let them know that they can access information that can help prevent this from happening to them, from happening to their children, to adolescents, around them. So
Absolutely.
we're looking to partner with influencers to drive conversations around SGBV prevention.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Temi Tokwe. Then, just for clarity purposes, we've talked about a lot of things that your organization does, but you also just mentioned rehabilitation, medical support. So, in general, just for the benefit of the listener, you can give us what kind of support is provided for survivors by your organization. And I ask this so that for future references, people can know that your organization does this, and this, and this, and this. So if they're ever caught in such situations, or they know anyone who's been caught in such situations, they can refer them because they know of these services rendered by your organization.
All right, so thank you so much, Samto. First off, like I said earlier, the first focus is prevention. We want to first off prevent sexual and gender-based violence from happening to women and girls. And to achieve this, we have a website and a mobile app. On this website and mobile app, we have tons of resources and information to prevent sexual and gender-based violence, what to do if someone is stalking you, what to do if you're attacked from the back, what to do, if someone tries to strangle you, what to do if you're stuck in a car and with an attacker, and all of those. We have self-defense courses that you can take. We are going to, on our website, you would learn things like what is self-defense and what is not, and all of those things, so you don't even get into trouble with law in a bid to defend yourself. So we have tons of materials on our website, that can aid prevention of sexual and gender-based violence. There's this adage that says prevention is better than cure. So if you can even prevent it from happening to you at all, do you understand? You won't even need the cure because it didn't happen to you. If what to do if you're walking alone at night and all of that. So you get resources like that on our website at www.restforher.com. I'll take it again. www.restforher.com. In case you prefer to, just use a mobile app, we have our mobile app on Play Store. That's at Rest for Her. If you go to Play Store right now and you type Rest for Her, you will be able to download, our mobile app. Now, let's leave prevention and focus on treatment. So we have treatment as well, and this is for women that perhaps have experienced sexual and gender-based violence or are probably going through. So, for instance, you're in a place, someone is.
Hello, Temi Tokwe, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I said, now that I've spoken about prevention, I want to talk about treatment. So for treatment, we have a toll-free number, that women and girls can call. You're in a situation, someone is trying to abuse you or assault you, and you just need to be rescued. You can call our toll-free number, and then we'll send a rescue team to you. 40. I'll take that again. 0800 40 40 40 40. And perhaps, for you, your experience of sexual and gender-based violence was many years ago, and you just want to recover. For women like this, we have counselors, we have first responders, available to talk to them. You can rub minds with them about whatever you're going through, and it will definitely help you through them. If it is something that is outside our purview as an organization, we have other support, other service providers that we work with. We would refer you to these service providers, and you can be sure if what you need is legal aid, we'll refer you to a service provider that provides legal aid. If what you need is rehabilitation, we would link you up with a service provider that provides rehabilitation. If what you need, is where to stay, we'll provide you, we'll link you up rather with service providers, that offer these services because they are our partners. So these are all the things that we do on the Rest for Her project. The thing is, you can be sure that if you call us, you will get the help that you need. We will give you the help that is appropriate, for your situation.
And that's all that women need, honestly. And believe me, it's a lot. It's a lot, and this is part of why we're recognizing organizations like yours that put in all this effort into ensuring that women have a say in the matter and women can be protected regardless of whether or not this has happened and if it has already happened to them. Thank you so much, Temitope. We're going to wrap up in a bit, but I would like to know some of the challenges that your organization has experienced in terms of in terms of running, or in terms of operations. Yeah, that's more the word, that could have hindered your advocacy. So what are some of those challenges? And you can just give me maybe the one biggest one and the thing that you did to overcome it, or how you're working on overcoming that, because it might still be, every day is a work in progress, so it might still be something that you might still be experiencing.
Okay, the biggest one would be the silence culture. I said earlier that it's not totally, we're not there yet. So you think that survivors are now open to speaking up. You start the process with a survivor, and then it gets to a point where you think you're about to really offer them the help that they need, and they take a detour and say, I've forgiven him, I'm no longer interested in pursuing this case. And then you're just really frustrated. So it's the silence culture. Survivors don't want.
Hello, Temitope. All right. So I would try to reconnect with Temitope. It's 29 minutes past 12, and we're still discussing the 16 days of activism on Women Radio 91.7. The 16 days of activism is focused on basically talking about activism against gender-based violence. We're reviewing the achievements of some organizations and strategies in the prevention and elimination of violence against women and girls. We're wrapping up in a bit, but my guest is still with us, and she's Temitope Olawumi, Digital Community Engagement Specialist for Rest for Her project. All right, Temitope, you were talking to me about the challenge of the culture of silence and how that is still affecting the current state of things. So they take a detour. You're speaking to a survivor, and you're hoping, and they seem like they're on board, and before you know it, they take a detour. So does that affect the entire process? Is it that you have to now call it quits at that point, or what goes on from there?
So what goes on is you ask the survivors, so what would you like to do? Oftentimes we have to play along with whatever they choose to do. So if they still want us to follow through with the case, we'll follow through. And if they want us to let them be and sort the case themselves, resolve the situation with their abuser, most times you have to hands off and just let them do whatever they want to do. So it's been a challenge because sometimes there's a level of fulfillment you get when you feel like a case has been thoroughly resolved. or like when you feel like you have to hands off a case because the survivor doesn't want to pursue further. So that has been the major challenge. And then the second challenge will be distrust for the system because of the way things work in this part of the world. A lot of survivors are very hesitant to even speak up. They're afraid that I would open myself up, I'll be asked all the questions, and then sometimes I don't get the justice that I want. Or the justice process is taking too long. It's dragging unnecessarily, and it's becoming too tiring for me. All of these are engendering, distrust for the system. So survivors are hesitant to speak up. It takes a lot of awareness, persuasion, and all that. Finally, get survivors to speak up and want to follow through, on a case. So these are the challenges, and but thankfully, the government, the Lagos State government particularly, are doing all they can to, improve the justice system, and to improve how the period that is needed for a survivor to get the justice that they need. And of course, with the level of awareness and the way organizations are working together, is getting better. But of course, we can do much more. So the major challenges have been this silence culture and distrust for the system.
And being that you're in that space very actively, I believe that it will get better. It will get better. And then because more cases are being reported, the hope is one step at a time. So with more reported cases, hopefully there'll be more action, more concrete action taken, and more cases actually resolved at the end of the day. So Temitope, on a final note, what's your call to action and commitment on behalf of your organization, on behalf of Rest for Her project?
All right, so to every woman and every girl out there, I want you to know that, first off, you don't have to be a victim of, you don't have to fall victim of sexual and gender-based violence. You can prevent it from happening to you. Go to our website, www.restforher.com. I know we say things like, this would never happen to me, but it wouldn't do you bad if you have the skill in your bag, so that you can use it whenever it's needed. So even if you don't think you'd ever fall prey, just have it in your back. Get the skill already. Know how to navigate a violence-prone situation. And if you're a survivor, you've experienced this, and you're finding it difficult to recover, to heal, call our toll-free number. We're available to talk to you 24 hours daily, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. Call 0800 40 40 40 40. I'll take that again, 0800 40 40 40 40. And if you are stuck in any situation, a violence-prone situation, and you do not know what to do, call that number. We'll send the rescue team to you, or we'll find help that is appropriate to your situation and get it across to you immediately. So don't stop calling us. We want you to call. We want you to go to our website. The services are there for you. Download our mobile app on Play Store. We have the services just so that women can be safe and alive, and it's totally free. All the services are free.
Thank you so much, Temitope. I mean, you've given us so much information, so much ammunition as well for women to take control of their lives if they've not been violated, and if they have, to get the help that they need. Thank you so much, Temitope. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much,
on The Big Question. Thank you. Please enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, Samto. Bye.
Bye. Now, it is imperative to understand that no woman should be violated. No woman should have to go through this. And Rest for Her project is very active in that space that assures you that no woman has to go through this. They have materials for you to enhance prevention. And if you have been violated, if you need someone to speak to, they also provide psychosocial support. 0803 40 40 40 40 is the number to call. And whatever the case is, they will respond to you. They're available 24/7, 365, according to Temitope. Thank you very much for tuning in today. And if you notice any form of abuse against women in your community, make sure to report this. Let us unite and be deliberate in eliminating violence against women and girls. Special thanks to my guest and to you for being a part of the program today. We're continuing this every single day till the end of the 16 days of activism, which is the 10th of December. We're still going to be doing this. It's a 16-day series, and we'll be going on with this inclusive of Saturdays and Sundays at 12:05 to 12:35. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Sumto Titilayo Ajama. Good afternoon.